And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak to your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon-to-be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, be sure to hit the like button below. And if you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. So we are approaching the holiday, the Jewish holiday of Passover. It's right around the corner, where we celebrate the Exodus from Egypt a couple thousand years ago. And one of the aspects of Passover is the number 4, right? We drink 4 cups of wine. There are 4 sons. There's a whole bunch of things that have to do with 4. So I would like to give my 4 tips for financial freedom. Okay, we spoke about spiritual freedom, right? The Exodus from Egypt and the children of Israel became a nation, and they came into Israel and they received the Bible, the 10 Commandments, the Bible. And now, to make things a little more mundane, we'll drop from those lofty spiritual heights and we'll speak about the 4 ways, the 4 paths to financial freedom. Number 1, get out of debt. Okay, you're not going anywhere financially if you've got debt. The one exception that we allow for debt is a mortgage, right? That's a way, I would say that's a way of saving, actually, if you have a mortgage, because ultimately you put away money every month, and at the end of the day, you have a fully paid for residence. But besides that, nobody's ever getting rich by borrowing money and going into debt, especially now with interest rates, I won't say sky high, more like historically normal levels. But when you're coming off of 0% interest rates, historically normal levels are quite high, right? And when you're paying double-digit interest on your loans, chances are that's a bad plan for financial success. It'll bring financial ruin, financial hardship, certainly. But you're not going to get anywhere if you have debt. So plan number 1, get out of debt. It's going to be one of the most important wealth building tools, let's say, in your arsenal. Tip number 2 on the path to financial freedom, budget. The big B word. People don't like to do it, but what is budgeting all about? It's about, instead of your financial situation being in control of you. What do I mean by that? Well, I've got to buy something, and okay, I've got another expense, and here, I've got a wisdom tooth that has to be pulled, and I've got to buy more food, and the kid needs braces. I know there's a teeth motive going on here. I'm not sure why that is. But these things all cost money, and you just keep, paying, right? You keep putting out money. You're not, the situation's in control for you. Of you. What we want to do by budgeting is take control of the situation itself. What's that mean exactly? That means that you know where your money's going, right? You sit down at the beginning of the month and well, I make X, right? $6,000 a month is our take-home pay, whatever it is, right? We have to fit our lives into that amount of money with a line item for miscellaneous, right? I mentioned braces. I mentioned a wisdom tooth, right? They're extraordinary expenses which pop up, which we need to account for also, because, otherwise you say, well, I made things work on my salary, but for some reason I'm still in overdraft. I'm still in minus, right? Why is that? Because they're extraordinary expenses, one-time expenses that happen throughout the year that we don't always account for. So you've got to be smart when you budget, right? Leave a line item for those things which might be surprises, right? Have like a surprise line, but also have lines for things which happen once a year, right? Your insurance, right? Paying for summer camp, whatever it is. Those aren't things that happen in, November, December, January. Those are things that happen in the summer camp rates in the summer, right? So what you want to do already, though, in November, December, January, you want to plan for the summer camp that's coming up in 7 or 8 months from now, right? So that you're putting money away conceptually every month, so that when it comes, you know exactly where the money is. You're not surprised. You have that money. Great. I've got to write a check to the camp. I've got the money. We're good to go, right? So number 2 step is budgeting. Number 3 is to save. Okay, so now we've gotten yourselves out of debt and we know where our money is going. Now we have to start putting extra money away. Going back to the budget, we should put in another line item, which is called savings, investments, right? We should do that. So you need to start putting away money, whether it's every month, whether it's every quarter, whether it's every year, whatever it is, you've got to save. If you're living where you have matching contributions on retirement plans or what have you from your employer, great. If you're living in Israel where you get social benefits, great. Take them. Start saving, but save from your salary also every month. You want to have short-term savings, you want to have midterm savings, and you have long-term savings. Which brings us to tip number 4 of the 4 ways to financial freedom. Invest. The best way for you to grow your nest egg and your net worth is to take money every month, or like we said, every quarter, every year, whatever it is, and invest it. Let that money work for you, right? We can then apply the principle, as Einstein once said, the most, I don't know what he said, the most glorious principle in the world, or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not even sure he's the one who said it at the end of the day. Compound interest, right? Let your money work for itself, and you don't have to do anything. You just sit back, put your feet on your desk, and watch your money grow, and that money grows on it, right? So let's say you're making 6%, 5%, right? Even on a CD, on a deposit. Okay, so that means what happens if you start with $100, okay, just for example. After year 1, you have how much? $105. But let's say you get 5% on that. How much are you going to get? You're not going to get another $5. You're going to get 5% on the $105, right? So you start, that's how it's compounding itself, right? So it's an incredible wealth building tool. You want to put money away, right? Number 1, by saving money every month, putting into your mortgage or whatever, and buying your residence. That's one form of savings. But you want to save in parallel tracks, right? Whether it's other real estate, whether it's stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs, right? Investing in financial markets. You want to, it's imperative, really, to invest. The younger you start, the better it's going to be also, right? If you wait until you're 50, you're going to have to play catch up, which means you're going to have to start putting away a lot more money regularly, which could really, really impact your standard of living. Whereas if you start when you're 25 or 28 or 30, you can just put small amounts away, literally, every month. And by the time you're 50 or 60, you're going to have so much money socked away that you're going to be able to live sort of the life you imagine, certainly in retirement, okay? The goal of saving and investing is between, let's say, at a minimum 10% of your salary on a monthly basis. I would love to be able to, if you're able to go higher, right, 15, 20%, more power to you. But 10% should get it done for you, so that if over time, especially if you start young, you should do really, really well. Okay, so those are your 4 tips to financial freedom as we celebrate Passover, the holiday of the Exodus from Egypt. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.